I had to go through my testimony and understand that, you know, we have to go through some things to understand the things that God has given us. It's not for us to consume. It's for the kingdom. And so, one of the things that she says, it says, we know from reading the story of Jesus' life in the Gospels that he cared deeply about the needs of the poor. What do you think Jesus is getting at when he affirms Mary's act of reckless generosity toward him and rebukes those who are critical of her? I think that Jesus is basically saying, when he criticizes those, is that they wasn't even trying to do anything. They weren't thinking about that. And so I believe that Jesus acknowledged Mary for giving what she had, and it was very costly. Like, she could have sold that, and I don't know how much, and I should have did research. I don't know how much that oil was worth, but she could have sold that, and it said it was worth a year's wages, so it was worth a lot of money. But she decided to pour out, and that's what we do when we worship. We pour out. And just because and it said that it filled the room. The sweet savor filled the room. And so Jesus accepted it. And what the Holy Spirit reminded me is that a lot of times we worship, but it's Jesus accepting it. Because is your worship going through like a sweet smelling Savior in his nostrils? Or is it just hitting the ceiling and coming back down because you have unforgiveness, because you have bitterness in your heart, because you're disobedience, you're continuously being disobedient? But Jesus accepted her worship, and the sweet aroma of the oils and the spices and the things that was in the oil, it filled the room, and it changed the atmosphere. Let's see what else. She says, Alyssa points out that Mary lived loved. In other words, she had a profound and personal awareness of the truth that Jesus really loved her. Sharing a time of their journey where faith, when you were overwhelmed by the reality that you are deeply and passionately loved by God. I say all the time, Lord, I thank you for being mindful of us. Because, you know, we make mistakes and we're not perfect, but God is still mindful of us. And he still loves us so much that he still gives us the desires of our heart, and he still blesses us, and he still wakes us up and gives us the activities of our limbs. But what my point to this, I was trying to think of another word, but my point to this question is the little things. I am just so in awe that God sees me, El Rayad, the God who sees the little things. Like, I'll be praying or asking for like something so small, and sometimes I don't even concentrate on it because it'll just be a thought that runs through my mind, and then like in a couple of days, the Lord will bring it to pass, and I'll see the manifestation of it. And it just blows my mind that God is so mindful of us in the little things. Me and my daughter talk about that all the time, that God, it's the little things for me. Yes, we want the big miracles, and yes, you know, God blows our minds when he does huge things, but in the day-to-day activities of life, it's the little things that God allows to happen that just makes me aware that he loves us and that he loves me unconditionally and that he's mindful of me. So that's my answer for that. But Mary lived love. And I like that because it says Mary lived love. She lived it. Love as an action word. And we have to do something. We have to do things to show God that we love him. It's not that we just can't go through this life and say we love God and not do nothing. I love God. You love God? What's wrong with you? Like, I love God. And so I feel like I owe God to live a life of righteousness. I owe God to live a life that is pleasing to him so that others can see. And so we have to live love. We have to intentionally, like I said, love is an action word. We have to intentionally do things. And when you love somebody, you show them that you love them with your actions. You show them that you love them by doing things. You show them that you love them by listening to the things that they want you to do. You show them that you love them by putting time in. You show them that you love them by doing things like that. Those are actions. Deuteronomy 6:5 says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. So your heart, your soul, and your strength. These represent the body, which is a physical form, the soul, which is the mind, will, emotions, and personality, and the spirit is the part that connects with God. And then use your strength to manifest all these components together. So you are to love God with everything, your mind, your emotions, your will, your actions. You are to love God with everything in you. So you have to put forth action. You have to use your mind. You have to use your will, your personality, your strength. And it says, one of the greatest commandments, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and strength, and then love your neighbor as yourself. But sometimes the enemy tries to keep us from even loving ourselves. So we don't know who we are. We don't love ourselves. If you don't love yourself, you can't love your neighbor, because it says love your neighbor as you love yourself. So you got to love God so that God can heal you and give you the revelation of what agape love is. Then when you love yourself, then you can extend that to phileo, which is brotherly love, and then love your brother as you love yourself. And then the actions follow, and then you can show the love by following with your actions how you treat your neighbor and how you do and treat other people, and how in the time that you spend with God, so that when people see you, they see a reflection of Christ. And then they ask you, well, what must I do to be saved? I see, especially if they know your past, where you're no longer the same. You're no longer angry. You can forgive. You have joy. You have peace. What are you doing? Because I want it too. And then there's an opportunity for you to evangelize and then show them the love of Christ. So Mary did what she could do, and Jesus counted it unto her as righteousness. So just do what you can do. It says, when I do what I could do, and you do what you could do, and together we do what we could do, like Mary of Bethany, we love Jesus back and we put feet on our faith. So if everybody is doing what they can do, we all on one accord, and then we put feet on our faith, because faith is an action word. Faith without works is dead. So we have to walk out our faith. We have to walk out our faith. People have to see us walking out our faith. And that's what Mary did. She walked out her faith. She showed God that Jesus, that she loved him enough to, and then this was a time that she poured oil on Jesus. And she, women weren't even supposed to be really heard. They just was supposed to be, they was seen but not heard. So she was at Jesus' feet. She was learning. When Jesus came to Lazarus' house for dinner, she was at his feet. She was learning. She was gleaning. She was trying to get everything that she could get from Jesus. And this astonished Jesus, for one, with her being a woman, but for two, with her just having the tenacity to want to know and want to be at his feet and want to understand and wanted a greater revelation of what his teachings were and everything like that. It amazed him. So they really should have been taking notes from Mary instead of trying to play her. So it says Mary got that Jesus loved her, and that maybe the way to love him back was to serve, to put his life into her action, to do what she could. So she got the revelation, and she knew that she was loved by Jesus, and she wanted to do something to show him that she loved him back. She wanted to express how much she loved him. And so this was an act of worship. This was an act of giving her all. This was an act of giving her everything. It's just like when Mary anointed his feet and wiped his feet with, I believe it was Mary Magdalene, wiped his feet with her hair. Your hair was a woman's glory. So for her to use her glory to wipe Jesus' feet, remember, they walked around, they wore sandals, their feet was dirty, their feet was dusty. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know, honey, women of color, how we be about our hair. Oh, oil in my hair, oh, smoke in my hair smell like smoke. So for her to use her glory, and use her hair to wipe Jesus' feet, it showed that she was giving her all, that there was nothing that she wouldn't do for Jesus, that there was nothing that she wouldn't give for Jesus. And so that's love. That's love. So the very last thing that she says is the gospel is our faith with feet on it. So walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. The gospel is our faith with feet on it. So we are to walk out the gospel. We are to walk it out with our actions. We are to walk it out so that others can see. We are to walk it out so that we are living epistles and living a living testimony of what Jesus did for us and how he changed our lives and how he made us new. So I just want to encourage you all today. Give what you have. Give what you have. Walk out your faith. Don't count it anything that you have small. Even in the Bible, when the woman gave the 2 mites, Jesus saw it and said she's given more than everybody else because it was all that she had. So just know nothing is going to be wasted. Give what you have. Don't be weary in small beginnings because nothing is going to be wasted. Jesus is going to see everything. And don't let the enemy make you think that worship is not important. Spend time with God every day. Every day. Make him first. Make him first in your life. So I hope that this blessed you. It was short but sweet. I hope that this blessed you. I hope that you got something out of today. I hope that you learned a little bit about Mary of Bethany, and go back and read it if you want to go back and read a little bit more about it. And then, like I said, we read Mark 14, 1 through 10. And then again, the other account is in John 12, I believe it's 1 through 10. And Matthew, Mark, and John, remember, are the synoptic gospels. They are the gospels that they are similar. They're just told by 3 different apostles. And so they have 3 different perspectives, but they're the same. So synoptic is basically the same word. Is kind of is the same, means the same as being the same. So in John explains it a little bit different than Mark, but it's the same account. And it just talks about Mary on what she did and how they felt and how they tried to trip Jesus up. But Jesus used it, and like I said, Jesus used it and put her account and her name in the Bible for all of us to see over 2,000 years later. So I thank you so much for joining me today at Inspirations by Classy Ken for Theology Thursdays. Do me a